Good afternoon and welcome to the instructional handover video for this 2007 Chausson Flash 08. So I'm going to walk you around the outside of the vehicle first, then we'll go on to the inside. So on the outside we've got the folding mirrors. These have got the mirror protectors on. They adjust both on both sides with the electric options on both the top and the bottom blind spot mirrors. So that's on the cab side. Behind we've got your habitation door, which is manually opened using the key that's supplied, and then we've got the Fiamma awning. I will send a separate video of how that Fiamma awning works, and that will accompany the main video that I send over to you. Behind the wheels we've got the vent for the Truma boiler, so please be careful, it does get warm. We've got the point where the mains connection will go in, and on removing it you press down that little lever here and pull out the cable, and underneath that we have an external barbecue point there, and that is gas out of the vehicle. Yeah, so barbecue, mains electric in, and your vent for the Truma heating system. Behind that we've got the gas locker area, clearly marked, and this is where you will get 2 bottles in. I open it up for you, you'll see just there is room for 2 bottles in here, your regulators at the top, and then just these little holes at the bottom here towards the back. These are the drop vents, so just leave them free of any obstructions just there. So we'll just put pressure on that and lock that. On the back of the vehicle we've got a Fiamma bike rack, we've got ladders to gain access up onto the roof, a tow bar, bumper bar, and a reversing camera just up here. We've also got a symbol here which is telling us where our wastewater is, and this can be found underneath here. So we can see that we've got a little lever here that just pulls towards you, and the water will come out the waste tank just there, and then on emptying it you just close it, and that will allow the wastewater to fill up. So that's any water that goes down the sink and the shower area. Into the rear locker area you have got your accessibility to the space under the bed. The bed lifts up, as you'll see when I come inside as well. The main items in here are your electrical items. So we've got your main fuse box, we've got your main RCD box with the yellow tester. So this yellow circle is your tester. If you press that and you're hooked up to mains, that little grey one should drop down. And next to that we have the battery charger. So all your electrical items are just found there, and you can access that by lifting up the bed as well. To close it, just lock together and then lock both of them sides, and that will lock that area into the vehicle. Onto the passenger side we've got your toilet cassette, so just in here, and this will just simply, there's a little handle, lift the handle up and slide the unit out. On the top of it you've got your little drain which you'll just unscrew to release it when emptying it, and the round yellow button which is the vacuum button to release it out. What you'll do is you'll remove it, empty it out by turning it upside down and taking that cap off, and then you will slide it back in place nice and easy, and it will lock just in place there. You can only remove that once you've closed your blade valve inside the vehicle. Just pop it in, clip it in and lock it. Again, it's clearly marked on there that it is your toilet. Forward of that we've got the freshwater symbol here, so this is your freshwater filler tank. Undo that with the key again supplied, just put a hose pipe in and that will fill up the fresh water. One thing you must do is underneath the vehicle you will see, if I find it for you, one moment. So just here we've got a little drain valve. Now this is your drain valve for your fresh water. So all you do is simply turn the wheel to stop the water coming out, and it's clockwise to hold the water in, anti-clockwise to empty it, and that will drain the fresh water tank. So if water's coming out underneath the vehicle, just check that you've got that circular valve in the correct position, and that can be found directly underneath the freshwater fill area. there. If I take a step back, you'll also see that there is an aerial fitted. So this is a status aerial, and I'll show you where that's located inside the vehicle. We've also got in here your diesel filler cap. So that's where you'll find your diesel filler cap. And if I open up the cab area, we will see that your toolkit, so basic toolkit, is found in that panel there. Your engine battery is located under there. We've got, just here is a glove box area, and just on the end is where you will find your bonnet release catch, just there. So you pull that towards you and that will give you access to your bonnet. To the front of the vehicle, just above the Fiat sign, you lift it up, and that is your access to it there. We've got your negative point just down here on the right hand side, and we've got your positive point, which is just underneath that case, marked on the top there. We've got your oil and dipstick and your screen wash, which is high up there. On closing it, just gently shut it, and that will close the bonnet off for you. So that's the outside of the vehicle taken care of. Let's move on inside to gain access in. Just pull it at the top, that will open up. There's a fly screen just on here, which if you gently remove, then we'll just go just like so. If I take a step back, and that will screen off that area. To open it, just put it back, and then it will just slide in place just there and clip in on that door. To the right hand side of the door, we've got a storage area just down here. So just press it to open it and press it back in to lock it. So on the habitation door itself, you can lock the door just like so, and open it just by pinching the lever just like that. So leave it open, then we can give a bit more light in. So let's turn everything off to begin with. When we are plugged into mains, you'll see there's a little LED light that lights up there. To get the power working in the vehicle, we must press this top right hand button here. That then gives us power to the inside of the vehicle. If we want to have the awning light on, we'll press the button there. That will give us awning lights outside. If we want to check what power we've got in the leisure battery, we'll press and hold that, and the symbol in the middle will light up as shown. Release it and it will go off. If we want then to see what's in the engine battery, we'll press and hold, and again it will go off then in a few seconds once we do that. And then if we want to see what's in the fresh water tank, we will just press that button there. If we want the water pump on, press that button. Now try not to do this if there's no water in the vehicle, and again try not to do this until you've filled up your boiler. It's always advisable to do that. So how do we do that? So we put the fresh water in through the valves that we show you. The other thing that we must remember to shut is your boiler, which is located underneath this panel, underneath the bed. We must shut this little grey valve down here. Yeah, and there's a diamond on the top and a little blue button just sneaking at the front. So to close it, what we'll need to do is just come around here. We'll need to turn the dial, and we'll need to press that button in. Now if you turn the dial and don't press the button in, the water will still leak out the underneath of the vehicle. So you've got to do both. To empty the boiler, turn it, and that button will come out as well. Yeah, so filling up, turn that, press the button in. To empty it, just press that out. Yeah, let's empty it just for this. You've got a couple of isolation valves just there, and we've also got a fuse spare here, which is for the electric side of the heating. So you must have that switched on. The controls for the heating are just located here. Now I'm going to do this in two parts. So the first part we've got is the item on the right hand side here. So the right hand side one here, we've got 5 different options. Yeah, so top one being 1 kilowatt electric. Top one being 2 kilowatt electric. Next one down being 1 kilowatt electric. The one down from that being gas only. One down from that is 1 kilowatt gas and electric, and 2 kilowatt gas and electric. So this side of the two is the fuel source that you're wanting to use. So in the minute I've no gas on there and turned on, so I'm going to put it on the 1 kilowatt. The section to the side of it is what we are trying to do. Again, there's 5 positions on this. We've got off. So turn the outer ring. We've got heating off. Hot water at 40 degrees. Now I'm going to do this quickly because I've got no water in. So hot water for 60 degrees. Hot water 40 degrees off. Bottom one is heating only. Yeah, so top one's being hot water, 40 or 60. One down which shows the flame is heating only. One down from that is heating and hot water. Yeah, now at the minute I've no hot water as I mentioned, so I'm just going to turn it down one so it's on the heating. To turn the heating up, we turn the inner ring either down or up, depending on how hot or how cold we want it. Now green means that it's going. If it's a red, it means it's a failure. So it could be that the gas is not turned on. And on this side of it, this is just letting you know that it's starting up. And it's got an amber there. Again, if it's a gas failure or something like that, or an electric failure, it will come up with a red symbol on there. So recapping that. Middle position off. Down one is heating only. Down two is heating and hot water. Up one is hot water at 40 degrees only. Hot water at 60 degrees only. And once you've done that, you want to select on this side either electric 1 kilowatt, electric 2 kilowatt, so like so. Gas only, gas and electric on 1 kilowatt, gas and electric on 2 kilowatt. So again, that's how the heating and the hot water is controlled. Like I say, try not to do this if you have no water in the hot water boiler. Always put it in first before you start changing the actual functions on this control panels. But that's your heating and your hot water. To direct the heating around, you'll see there's valves here that you can open and close depending on where you want the heating to go most. So, and they flow through the little pipes that are denoted around the actual van itself. Onto your fridge. So let's turn it off first and start from the beginning. So your fridge panel is located here. Turn it on, you press the button and the actual panel will light up. Press the button at the side here and it will flash. Yeah. And then we've got 3 options. We've got mains electric, auto function, battery option. Now this battery option will only work when the engine's running. Yeah, so it will not work if the engine's running. Gas and manual electric. If you want to select the auto, what it will do is automatically, like it is now, we're plugged into mains, flick it on to the actual control that you want it to be on, and that's giving you the strongest signal. The next option along again is your temperature here. So it will go from the warmest to the coldest, depending on what you want to do. When you're happy at what you've selected, just let go and it will stay on there. To gain access to it, we want to pull this little lever down here, and that will give us access to the fridge at the bottom and the freezer at the top. The little LED light here will tell us that it's on. Yeah. And when we're closing it, we just shut it through there and shut it through there. And when we press and hold that button there, it will turn off the unit. It will also turn off the light in there. And at the bottom of the fridge, we've got a little lock in here, which will lock it in place. The microwave above it is mains only. So it just turns on and turns off, but will only operate when you are hooked up to mains. Okay. In here, we've got your gas burners. So manual lighting, you'll need a lighter to light it. So fire lighter, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And you've got a little heat deflector there, which will just sit on the side here and stop that panel from getting warm when you're using it. When you've finished, do heed the notice there and let it cool down before you closing that. We've also got a main socket in this area as well. Once you've closed it down, you'll see in this area we've got a fly screen and we've got a blind to turn that off. And the tap itself here, we've got clearly marked hot and cold. So once you've filled up the boiler and you've filled up the fresh water and you've closed that boiler valve I mentioned before, you want to come to the tap. You want to turn on the pump on the control panel over there. Come to this, turn it to hot and lift it up. There's a little switch if I'm quiet that you'll hear, and that's a micro switch. So you'll run the water till you get a steady stream. Now do that here. Also do that by pushing that button on your tap in your bathroom area, as well as your shower area. You're pulling through all the air from the boiler. Once you've got a steady stream of water coming through, you'll know there's water in the boiler. You can go to that little panel, which I've shown you down here, and select your desired temperature that you want to do. So that's how that one works, guys. Into the bathroom area, we've got some storage units up here, mixer taps, your shower screen that goes round, an opening window, so we literally just open the 2, 3, and then gently out. You'll hear a click, and that will hold the window open for you. We've got a flush button for the toilet on the left, and an indicator on the right to tell you. Now at the start of the vehicle that I told you about the blade valve, and that is that valve in there, and that is operated just with this little lever here. So pull the lever towards the front of the toilet, will open that blade valve and pull it back to close it. It's got to be in the closed position for you to be able to pull the toilet set out of that particular slot on the outside. The light for this area is here, so that is just located there, and we've got a storage unit just here, which just pulls open, magnetizers on there. Cold mixer tap and hot mixer tap is just located there, and your soap holders just there. This window, to get it closed, you've got to go all the way up to the top to pull it all the way back down. So just be careful if you're parking near anywhere that's tight, otherwise you'll have to move the vehicle before you open and close that area. And then finally, on leaving that, just make sure that that push button is in place, and that will secure the door in transit. The door in front of it is a wardrobe. In here you've got some storage area at the front and storage lower down, hanging storage just there. We've got in this cupboard, which simply just pulls open, your aerial. So to push the aerial up, you release that little collar and then push the bar up, pull it back down and lock it in place when you're ready there. Pushing it up will just give you a high receptor area on there. Blinds, pull the blinds across, and then from the front you'll see your fly screen. To open up this area, just push that down, pull it forward, and that will open up. Push it back down and make sure it's over that little lip for when you're in transit. Same on the one in the back bedroom area. Here we've got cupboards all the way around, and we've got a mains plug-in point just up there as well. Above the driver's side, we've got some storage areas here, so high up storage in here and more storage just there. We've got a large seat and a pack with all the manuals in. So as well as me telling you, you'll be given the manuals that come with the vehicle as well. The cupboard at the front here is where you will find your booster box, and inside there is a 12 volt, an aerial and a main socket. To pull out the TV bracket, all you do is pull that little lever and then that will slide, and then you've got a little button at the bottom here which will allow you to tilt it forward and backwards. When you finish, just magnetize it in there. The seat belts for both passenger just there, and above this we've got more storage for you just there. The table does extend, so underneath the table there's a little screw down here which will release and then allow the table then to slide out and give that additional people Dining area, just there. What it will do is lift out like so. If I move back there, you will see that that is your additional area there. Yeah, push it back in, you just simply pull it out and slide it back in and latch in that little buckle which I've just shown you. The cab area, the curtains are pulled around to screen off that area. We've got some little storage pockets above. The seats themselves will just swivel round, just like so, and the swivels to lock it in place are just on the side marked in the red. We've got the indicators and the lights. We've got cruise control on and off, a 6-speed manual gearbox with door locking points for the front cab doors and unlocks, hazard lights, air conditioning, CD radio, drinks holders lower down, so this is had the modification. And then on this side we've got your trip counter and your screen wash, reverse camera monitor, electric window switches, and your mirror switches that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. To make up the bed, I'm going to do this in a couple of steps and I'll show you bit by bit on this front one. There is a mattress that will just sit on top of here, which the customer has taken, but that's where your mattress would normally be found for the addition for your 2 beds in the rear, and then this will make up into a make-up bed at the front as well. So the first part of this is to remove the table off the rail at the top and put it onto the bottom one. So we do this by lifting up the table and hinging that table just there. So press that down and it will hinge out, press it back and it will hinge in. What we do next is hinge it onto the bottom rail, just like so. That would be your next stage. And then we want to slide out this section here across to give us that part of the bed. And then formulating the bed like so, giving you that option of a front make-up bed. It's a more permanent thing, you probably might want to get a mattress topper just to make that bumps and lumps a bit easier and more pleasant to sleep on. But that's how you would formulate that front bed area. The seat will also lift up and give you access to that underfloor storage area just there. And then with a few pushes and movements, we are then set back up for that daytime use, just like so. On leaving the vehicle, you'll want to turn off the main master button, unplug your mains electric, and then you'll be able to go on with your onward journey. Now we hope you've enjoyed the instructional video. We look forward to your feedbacks and comments. Please subscribe and like to our YouTube channel. But most importantly, we hope that it brings you many joyful trips and adventures ahead. Thank you.